Before I start this gameplay video, I just want to say that I was crafting the other day looking for those craft numbers, and I got lucky with a Rebel Rouser number 83, a Rogue's Brogue number 95, and a Lieutenant Bites number 94. I'm showing you here just to actually confirm that I do have those. I have a couple of bare necessities that I do want to get rid of, as I'm going to show you here. Had the hardest time finding the Rogue's Bros, even though in hindsight they're right there, right next to the bare necessities there. So again, I am looking to get rid of those. But again, I am stoked to have gotten those craft numbers on those items. Don't know if I'm going to part with those. I might potentially part with the Rebel Rouser, but the Lieutenant Bites and the Rogue's Bros, I am definitely going to keep those. And without further ado, here is the video. Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Plays TF2 right here on Phoenix Plays Games. This is a gameplay on King of the Hill Viaduct. This is a gameplay mode that I typically don't play, but my friend wanted to play it, so I joined him in the game. And I thought I'd turn my voice chat off before starting the recording, but it just insisted on staying on, so I just go and I turn down the voice receive volume all the way down. Alright, now that that is out of the way, we can continue the gameplay here. King of the Hill mode is basically a, well, assuming no one captures the point, it can turn into a team deathmatch. But the point of King of the Hill is there is a central control point in the middle of the map. It starts uncapped, and you cannot cap the point for about 30 seconds after the round starts. But after that neutral time is up, the point is open for capture. Once a team captures the point, they have to hold the point for a combined total of 3 minutes. If the other team caps the point, it will stop the other team's countdown and start their own countdown. So if red capped the point, their 3-minute countdown would start going down, but then the blue team capped, the red time would pause and blue time would start. King of the Hill Viaduct is pretty much straightforward. It has your usual typical spots for sniper nest, sentry nest, and there's 3-4 different places that you can attack the point from. But a quick rocket jump up onto the ledge, as I do very often, can take care of most snipers and or other classes trying to attack from the ledge. First thing that I want to talk about is, some customers at work, they are the best. And when I say the best, I'm being sarcastic. So I cannot mention any names, I cannot mention any brand numbers or brand names, because I'm not being paid to advertise any sort of companies or brands, and I can't name names because, you know, that's, you know, they don't want to be included in the video, I'm sure. But so this elderly gentleman comes in with his receipt and he says, I have a dispute with my receipt. So I say, well, okay, what seems to be the problem? So he says, I bought this peanut butter. It was on your sale. It was supposed to be $1.47. Oh, ooh, lag. Where'd it come from? $1.47, and it rang up at $1.97. And I said, well, sir, I'm looking here, and it took off the savings, and then it took off your membership savings here. He said, no, it's $1.97. So, you know, I can't deal with this customer because he doesn't want to hear what he needs to hear from me. So I call over my customer service manager. So she comes over and she tells me the same thing. Hey, your discounts did come off, and we even printed off the receipt where it shows it step by step where everything came off. And so he's like, no. So she calls over the store manager, and so I leave them to handle it, and so I go off helping out the customers. So I'm doing other business, and I overhear them saying, You bought the items. It's right here. We are circling all of your discounts for you right here on this paper. And yes, you did buy the frozen vegetable brand that was on sale, but you didn't buy the right type of the frozen vegetable brand. So now that he's been made a idiot out of, he decides to apologize, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Can I get a refund on these frozen vegetables then? And so after he leaves, we all just have a little giggle. We were having ourselves a little giggle over there, mate. But some customers, jeez, it's ridiculous. I love work, but sometimes, customers can make it hard. All right, now that is aside, Spy, you're not cool. You just stood there in the same spot. And Spy, you're not cool. You're dead now. But now, onto the point of the video. Funny stories aside. This video will be mainly about why I use certain loadouts over others. Like, for example, when I play Scout. Oh, critical kill. Got a taunt. Like, how come you don't use the stock scatter gun? The reason why is because I'm so used to not using stock that using stock would require me to alter my gameplay style. It would require me to actually just stay in there. But as a fan scout, what you want to do is you want to rush in, get a couple shots off if you can, see if you can't, deal quick damage or just push them away, and then finish them off with your pistol. Or knock them off an edge. Fan scout to me isn't necessarily an aggressive scout, but merely a pester scout, just because. Yeah, this is where pulling out the half Zatoichi can get me killed sometimes, because I just don't get that kill. And I knew I hit him before he even charged at me, but you don't always get the. But you don't always win. But fan scout, before I get off topic. Fan scout to me is a distraction scout. You're not. I mean, yes, you can get really nice picks with the fan plus plus pistol combo, since the fan only has 2 shots. You don't want to waste time reloading, and so just pull out your pistol or your bat to finish up and mop up whatever damage is left after 2 shots from your fan. So I'm not used to playing go in all out scout. Well, scouts don't go in all out, but I'm more used to playing pester scout rather than a pick scout. That's just my playstyle. Now I use the Sandman for single targets that might be a little more difficult to deal with, such as heavies. Heavies are really difficult to deal with as a scout unless you can circle strafe around them. So I pull out the Sandman and I stun them, pull off a couple shots with the fan, and then finish up with a pistol. Usually gets the job done with 15 damage from a baseball hit, unless it's a crit. Point blank damage does around 100, 102 damage, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then point blank pistol shots do like 15 damage apiece, and so it finishes them off very easily. Or like with the medic, just stun them, get in there with your pistol. In your fan, and boom, they're down. Also been very fond of the shortstop. Shortstop is another pester scout weapon, mainly because you're better at medium range more than the regular scatter gun is, because it's catered towards medium range combat rather than having to get in point blank. Ow, random arrow. Whenever I use the fan pistol, and a Sandman, just so that I can have that stun. And whenever I use the shortstop, of course, I'm going to use the Mad Milk to take advantage of the plus 20% more effective healing. And I also use the Boston Basher, because Boston Basher plus Mad Milk is essentially regen. It's the bleed damage is 2 damage a second. Not sure if mini crits make the bleed damage more or not. But if it does, then it's more health for you, assuming they're covered in Jarvati, and then you land Mad Milk on a Jarvati foe, and then you hit him with the Boston Basher. But I used to use the Boston Basher because if I do miss and I happen to hurt myself, you just toss Mad Milk onto someone, and then you just use your shortstop to recover whatever health you would be losing with missing your Boston Basher bleeding. And oh, because I failed that rocket jump, it's going to cost me. And so for Soldier, I like using the stock rocket launcher, the Conjurer, and the half Zatoichi. Why? Because stock rocket launcher, you can't go wrong with stock rocket launcher. I mean, it's one of the best rocket launchers in the game. Nothing, no downsides, no upsides. It's what every soldier learned to play the game with whenever they first started playing. The Conjurer, because, well, not only because I like to play a samurai soldier, but the Conjurer can really turn the tide of a battle if you can be healing yourself or your allies can be healing themselves whenever they do damage. And the faster move speed can really help you and your teammates get the drop on people. Because Soldier running in really fast, just shooting rockets everywhere, it allows you to get close so that you can deal the damage that you need to. And that sniper got really lucky with his meat. He beat me with his meat. And I like using the half Zatoichi because it's a full commitment whenever you use it. This is the friend that I mentioned that I wanted to play with. This is Wolfles. He is a very dear friend of mine. But half Zatoichi, yes, is a commitment because you cannot put it away unless you get a kill or if you visit a resupply locker in order to take off the honor bound effect. But if you manage to damage someone enough and you can get close enough without them being aware of you being there, you can get that half Zatoichi kill, give yourself full health, and having that full health is just really useful. Excuse me, there's some mild burping / no, not really indigestion, but just mild burping there. I mean, sometimes if you're lucky enough, you know, you can always just random crit your way to full health, which is always nice. I mean, because if you dish out a lot of damage with your rocket launcher, you can get a lot of random crit stored up because random crit percentage is based on how much damage you have done in the last 10 seconds, I believe. And so rocket's doing a lot of damage. You can get a lot done. And I just like using the Zatoichi and the Conjurer because I do... Oh no, Pyro! W plus M1. Undead Samurai Loadout. Just because it's really fun. Because not stuff that people really use, but I've learned to like them by trying to follow a loadout theme. Let's see. As Demo Man, I like to use the Lock and Load, the Charge and Targe, and the Islander. The Lock and Load because it really makes you have to aim with your grenades, and it awards you for doing so by doing more damage and having bigger blast radius, meaning that a random crit with a Lock and Load can really deal a lot of damage. I've gotten a pentakill before with a random crit on a lot of people just gathered around a cart on a payload while they're defending, and then it literally won us the game. Like there was nobody defending the cart. Everyone else was distracted with other team members, and then we just won. And this is an instance of the Conjurer moving really fast. You can get kills and avoid dying. The Charge and Targe, because the fact that Islander doesn't get any random crits, the Charge and Targe can at least help you get guaranteed crits, assuming you swing at the right moment. And the Islander, because if you can get those opportune moments for melee. Getting the heads will increase your melee damage and increase your run speed, which is always good, because running fast makes you a harder target to hit. And this is a unusual spot for a sentry, but it gets taken down very fast. And my theme for my demo man is like a pirate, but I typically don't. But I don't use a Persian Persuader or a whiskey bottle just because I want the Islander effects. Because taking heads is always fun. Because damage and speed and health max out at 4 heads, but with 4 heads you can take down most classes in just 2 swings. Scouts go down to 1 swing. No, probably 2 swings. So yeah. Most classes go down in like 2 swings. With 4 heads, cap. Another class, heavy. I like to use the Tomislav, the Family Business, and the Holiday Punch. Holiday Punch because there really aren't any downsides except that critical hits do no damage. But the fact that you can force people to laugh and make them helpless if you do manage to get a random crit or punch them from behind, you can easily get a taunt kill. Or once they're laughing, you pull out the Tomislav, and since the Tomislav spins up faster, you can easily get a kill that way, without having to wait for your minigun to spin up. Or if you rather pull out the Family Business has a larger clip size at the cost of less damage, but having more clips makes it. And then this is why running in half Zatoichi. But I already had full health from the medic, but I did manage to deal enough damage to the heavy that I could run in and get the half Zatoichi on him. But yeah, Holiday Punch aren't really any downsides except for no damage on criticals, but nobody likes random crits anyway. But so the fact that random crits make them laugh is kind of cool. This will wrap up the video for today. Like, favorite, and subscribe if you did. Really helps me out, and I will see you all next time.